everyone, and welcome to the Uncreative Crafter. My name is Jen, and I'm your host. Today is Saturday, November 7th, 2015, and this is episode 20 and a half. Normally, this would be the week that I record, but our weekend plans changed, and I just didn't plan my time very well, so oops. And rather than try and force something together that's not going to meet my standards and isn't going to be fun for you to watch, I did a Periscope broadcast last night. I haven't done too much on Periscope, but I thought it would be fun to do a supported spinning demo of how I supported spin. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert. I'm not going to pretend like I know all of the language. But I make yarn out of it, and I don't know, maybe some people haven't seen supported spinning before, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little demo of that. Didn't have a ton of live viewers, which is totally fine. Friday night, didn't really expect too many, but I did save it to my iPad thinking that maybe people would be interested in seeing it, just to see how I do things and if I do anything different than you do. So I am going to make episode 20 and a half most of my Periscope broadcast. It's a little under 10 minutes long, I think. I will do some editing in the beginning. It's a lot of waiting around to see if anyone's going to come in to the live video, and I may just make a few other edits from there. So it's not going to be a normal episode, but at least there is going to be something up for you to watch, and I should be back in another week or two with a more regular episode. So thanks so much for checking this out, and I hope you enjoy watching one of my Periscope broadcasts. So my name is Jen. I am a storm coaster on the internet, and the Uncreative Crafter is my YouTube podcast. Hello, this is going to be a fiber spinning demonstration if you're interested in watching that. I'm going to be demoing how I spin on my Russian style supported spindle. Big pointy thing. Looks like this. So if you've ever seen anyone spin yarn before, you've probably seen them do it on a wheel or a drop spindle. This is somewhat different, and I just thought it would be fun to share how I spin with this. So you need a bowl or a small plate to spin this in, instead of relying on gravity to do some of the work for you. You are not using gravity. Your spindle is spinning on its own in the little bowl, and so you can spin much finer fibers. What I'm spinning tonight is a mix of merino wool, angora, silk, tencel, which is a plant fiber, and I believe there's some Firestar and maybe Angelina in this, and so it would be something I would probably have difficulty spinning on a wheel, but it's much easier to spin it on a supported spindle because, well, I don't know the science behind it, but it just is. You can see that I've already been spinning for a little while, and I spin this from the fold, which means I pull off a piece of fiber and I fold it around my finger, and that just makes it a little bit easier to handle. I cheated and I already started and I attached it to where it belongs, but just give a short little demo on this. So I'm going to put this end into my bowl so you can see it'll spin freely if I don't stab myself with it, which is entirely a possibility. And I just have to remember which way I've been going, so you always want to spin your singles in the same direction. I know that I've been spinning clockwise, so I'm basically going to flick it with my fingers. And something I think the YouTube videos do not really show is that you want to catch the tip of your fiber. You want to catch it on the tip of the spindle right here, and that's what's adding the twist to make it go from big fluffy fiber to yarn. So let's see if I can do this again without impaling myself. I'm very new. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some kind of expert here. You can see it even spins on its own. Then I'm going to do what's called, I guess, a long draw. So you can see it's kind of difficult because my face is in the way. But as I'm pulling the fiber out really lightly, you can see the twist start to travel up. And I'm going to keep doing this until it's out of camera range because that's how much twist I put in the fiber. You can see a little bit it's starting to loosen up, so what I want to do now is I want to add more twist. And so I like to keep it in a little cradle right here because I feel much safer. This was not an inexpensive spindle. You will see people spinning without having their hands anywhere near it, and they're able to pay a little bit more attention to their fiber. I'm not at that level yet. So I'm going to keep drafting out again off camera. I'm going to add more twist as I sort of look at the yarn and see how put together it looks. And this is only the second thing I've done on this spindle, so I don't really know the right or the wrong way to do it yet, but it is adding the twist on in. Your arm is only long enough, so eventually you hit a limit of your arm can't take anymore. And then there's going to be a kitten. Hello, Ozzy. You don't want to play with this. This is pointy and will hurt you. Please move. Oh, free cat to anyone who wants her. So, as I was trying to show you, my arm is only so long. I have to stop. My arm's going to fall off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add just a little bit more twist because Ozzy distracted me. And then I'm going to do what's called winding on. So, taking the yarn from off here, I'm just going to unwind it a little. I'm not losing the twist while I'm doing this because I'm keeping my arm straight. And I'm just going to sort of crisscross it up and down on the spindle, and that's called a cop. And I don't want to get it too close to the top here. I want to have a little bit of room so I can keep drafting. So I'm going to add a little bit more twist, not too much because this is so short. All the twist is built up in there. And again, I'm going to pull really gently. Hopefully you can kind of see. Lighting in here is awful. Going to add a little bit more twist. Always making sure that I'm going in the same direction. Going to keep pulling. If I sat far enough away from the camera for you to see my arm, you wouldn't be able to see what I'm spinning, unfortunately. Adding the twist, pulling my fiber out, a little bit at a time. And it's probably difficult to tell. This is very fine yarn that I'm spinning. These are called singles because it's just one strand of the fiber. If I were to ply it together, that would make it a 2-ply. I probably will do that, but I've got a lot more of this to spin. My arm's starting to get sore because I've stretched it out as far as it can go. And then you'll also see I like to basically twist it back on itself. Ozymandias, you're the worst cat. Come on. Get out of here. Get. The wonders of doing things live. Twist it back on itself. Make sure that it twists back on itself. If it doesn't, then I know that I don't have enough twist to do what I want, which is a 2-ply. Gonna add just a little bit more here. Then I'm gonna unwind it here and wind it back on. So I thought this would be a fun demonstration, especially if you've never seen anyone do supported spinning. There are different kinds of spindles out there. I've only ever used the Russian. I bought this at a fiber festival without knowing how to supported spin or support spin. I don't actually know the technical term for that. I have used drop spindles before, and I do have a spinning wheel. This is totally different to any spinning that I've done before, and I found it difficult to pick it up at first, again because I feel like the videos didn't show you that you are flicking this tip against the single you're making. A lot of them I'm like, well, it's just spinning around and around and around and it's not adding any twist. That flick is really the necessary bit to add the twist in. And again, my arm's getting tired. I've held it out about as far as it can go, adding a little bit more twist into my yarn here. I tend to err on the side of over twisty because I am going to ply it together, but that's just my personal preference. And again, just going to wind it on here, and that's pretty much how I supported spin. As I mentioned, I'm not any kind of a genius. I haven't been doing it very long, but this is supported spinning, the basics. Don't stab yourself. It's pretty easy to do so. If you enjoyed this, Maybe I will put it into my next podcast, editing out some of the ums and ahs as usual. You can find me on YouTube as the Uncreative Crafter. I hope you are willing to check me out. And if you have any ideas for any demos that I could do, maybe there's something I do, I don't know. Just let me know. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.